My delusional sister wore a wedding dress to my wedding, so I slept with her husband. I never expected my own sister to stab me in the back. But thankfully, God allowed me to take my sweet, sweet revenge. I always got along with my sister to the point where I would consider her my best friend. We would always confide in each other when it came to problems with boys. She was the type of person to get really emotional over small things. Like, she would throw a complete tantrum and flip the house upside down if her nail got clipped. Honestly, I always thought it was a little cute. But things took a turn for the worse when she met her current husband, Reggie. From day one, they loved each other to the point where it could be called obsessive. Especially my sister. She clinged to Reggie's side like a mosquito. I could tell those two were meant for each other, and cheered them on from the sidelines. Although sometimes Reggie told me that my sister was being too dramatic over things, I assured him that it was just a unique quirk of hers and she didn't mean any harm. When they got married, I was so happy for them and celebrated like crazy. Little did I know, that was the start of a massive downfall for my sister. Bit by bit, I watched as her obsession turned to paranoia. Her love for her husband made her extremely possessive. She would constantly call me to explain how she thought her husband might be cheating on her, when he was just going to work and doing his job. Let me put it in perspective for you. If he wasn't in front of her, then he was cheating. That sounds ridiculous, and it was. But that's what she would tell me every time we talked. I would tell her that she's being delusional, but she never listened. It got to the point where I just stopped answering her calls and distanced myself from her. It was around this time that I met the man I would go on to marry. It was like a fairy tale, and we were in love even more than my sister and Reggie. After just 6 months of being together, we decided to tie the knot and get married. I know that everyone will say we were being too hasty, but it's never too fast when you're with the right person. Anyway, though me and my sister had drifted apart, we were still close enough for me to make her a bridesmaid. She helped me a lot with the planning and even lent us some financial support with permission from Reggie. We were spending a lot of time together, and I genuinely thought that she had changed for the better. She wasn't fussing over small things or being paranoid anymore. However, that was just my misunderstanding. She made me believe until the actual wedding day arrived. Guests have already started arriving, and yet there is no sign of my sister. I can't find her no matter how hard I search. Eventually, I just gave up and decided to put on my wedding dress. Out of nowhere, my mother rushes in and tells me that my sister has arrived. But my mom is out of breath, so I ask her what's wrong. Well, apparently my sister had decided to show up in a wedding dress. Yes, an actual wedding effing dress. I can't even explain how annoyed and angry I was. I rushed out to confront her and saw her casually talking with her friends, like she hadn't just completely ruined my day. I asked her what the hell she thought she was doing. She made a face when she saw me, and said this in a snarky way. "Oh, don't look so surprised. I know Reggie is cheating on me this time, and that too with you. So this is my revenge. How do you like the taste of your own medicine?" I should point out that I absolutely did not sleep with her husband, or had any inappropriate contact with him. I told her that she's being delusional again, and that she needs to leave right now. I won't let her ruin my special day because her paranoia had decided to return. She assured me that she knew that the truth was, and asked to see my texts. Okay, so a few days prior to this, I had texted Reggie asking where my sister was because she wasn't replying. It turned out she had a facial appointment and thus our conversation ended there. That is what she saw on my phone because I did show her my texts. She had probably seen the same texts on her husband's phone, but assumed that he had deleted our messages to look innocent. The look on her face when she realized that she was in the wrong was priceless. She tried to apologize, and even frame it as a prank. But I was too hurt by her actions to forgive her. She had almost sabotaged my marriage with her baseless accusation and I wasn't going to tolerate her any longer. I told her to get out of my sight, and that I will never talk again. Thankfully, she left without any further altercations. My mood ended up improving and in the end, I enjoyed my day to the fullest along with my now husband. But the thing is, she left a bitter taste in my mouth. I wasn't the type to take her abuse lying down, and I was going to take revenge on her. My husband and I are actually in an open relationship. I don't want any comments regarding this, as we both agreed to this since day one and have had no problems. I think we are one of the couples who did this right and made it work, because both of us are extremely happy. Anyways, I talked with my husband and told him my intentions of taking revenge on my sister. And he gave me a brilliant idea. If she thinks you slept with her husband, then why don't you just, sleep with him? I don't know why I hadn't thought of this. I immediately texted Reggie and asked to meet. I thought I was being too hasty, but he agreed and said he also had something to talk about. We met at his house since my sister was currently over at our parents' as they were still lecturing her about what she did. Reggie admitted to me that he was getting fed up with my sister's behavior. He had remained faithful to her, and yet she didn't trust him one bit. She asked to check his phone multiple times a day and would always call him in the middle of work. I played the master's game, and comforted her by agreeing with his worries. I thanked my sister in my head, as she had unknowingly given me the golden ticket via her own actions. It turns out, Reggie was too starved for actual love because not even 2 hours in and we were together in the bed. I completely wrecked her entire room by requesting to do it in multiple positions. After it was over, I took some photos and sent them to my sister with the caption, "Two can play that game."